Last night was the reveal of the last 11 cards missing from Age of Overlord, and I'm also going to talk about a couple other cards here that were also revealed over the course of the week. So that would be stuff like SP and Typhoon. So let's get these up. Also, this card here too, being Hamster and Exceed the Pendulum. So there's quite a bit that we need to go over. So let's talk about the first card, Escape Goat. It is a continuous trap card. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a non-token monster you control, you contribute one monster. Special summon one Escape Sheep token, Beast Earth, level 1, 0 attack and 0 defense, in defense position. If a non-token monster you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you could destroy one of your tokens instead. This honestly is actually a really good card for a lot of token-based strategies, so in my opinion, could definitely be useful in the future. Then we have Ori no Kagami. It is a level 1 Dark Fairy effect, 100 attack, 0 defense. Once per turn, you can toss a coin until the result is tails, and if you do, draw one card for every 2 heads. Each time a player tosses a coin while this monster is on the field, it doubles a number of times equal to the number of heads. So essentially, if you get 20 heads in a row, it's going to be, I believe, at 16,000 attack, but I'm not too sure because I would have to double check that. So it's an interesting level 1. After that, we have Tao the Great Chanter. This is a retrain to Tao the Chanter, a card that we don't have in the TCG. It's a normal monster from back in 1999. It's an Earth Illusion effect, level 3, 1200 attack, 900 defense. And you can only use the second effect of this card, its name, once per turn. If this card battles a monster, neither player can destroy it by that battle. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one illusion monster in your graveyard, except Tao the Chanter. Special summon it in defense position. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the graveyard for the rest of the turn, except illusion monsters. I wish it would have included Beast Warrior, all the types that are included in with the current illusion cards, but this is actually all right of a card. It's good, but it's not bad. It's going to be useful for sure later down the line, and I cannot wait to see what a pure illusion deck would look like. Next up, we have the Oyatsu Sumamuhaim. It's a light plant effect, level 4, 1600 attack, 1200 defense. Once per turn, when a card or effect is activated that targets this card, or when this card is targeted for an attack, quick effect, you can special summon one Oyatsu token, plant, light, level 1, 800 attack, 800 defense. Once per turn, when your opponent would special summon a monster's quick effect, you could tribute one normal monster, negate the summon, and if you do, destroy that monster's. I honestly, as a plant card, it's very, very good, and it could be used in future decks. So keep an eye out on this one. Next up, we have Hanayomi and Ninyo. It's a Earth Spellcaster Tuner effect, 0 attack, 2100 defense, which is level 3. When you draw this card, you could reveal it, special summon it. At the start of the battle phase, if you have more cards in your deck than your opponent does, this card gains attack equal to the current difference times 300 until the end of the turn. During the end phase, if this card is in your graveyard because it was sent there this turn, place it on top of your deck. So essentially, you can have an infinite Barone access during each standby phase in things like Dark Magician, or even Kashtira could use this because it's super useful in quite a bit of ways. Then we have UFO Light. It's technically a alien card, quote unquote, but it's not even an alien card. It's a level 8, 1500 attack, 1500 defense, fire illusion monster, and you can only use the third effect of this card's name once per turn. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects except during the battle phase. If this card battles a monster, neither player can destroy by battle. Every illusion card will have this forever. During the end phase, you could draw one card, then banish one or more cards from your hand, and if you do, this card gains 500 attack for each card banished by this effect. A very interesting card. Next up, we have Card Scanner. Once per turn, you could declare one card type, monster, spell, or trap. Each player reveals the bottom card of their deck, and if they reveal a card of the declared type, they can add it to their hand. Otherwise, they place it on the top of the deck. If this face-up card in its owner's spell and trap card zone is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can make your opponent place one card from their hand on the bottom of the deck. This card with Convulsion in Nature is pretty nutty as a gimmick, and I truly like it, and it gives a good nod to Card Trader from back in the day. Next up, we have a card that's actually really good, being Tarai. I think that's how you say it. It's an Earth Fairy effect, level 4, 0 attack, 0 defense. You can only use the effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is in your hand, you can target one face-up monster in the main monster zone that activated its effects on the field this turn. Destroy it, and if you do, special summon this card to the zone that monster was in. So this being a card that you could just be like, oh yeah, I could just summon to your opponent's field to get rid of a problem, like a Rise Heart. So this card could be very good in a lot of situations that I could definitely see meta play in the future. Next up, we have Invasive Alien Species IAS. It's a light reptile effect, level 4, 1600 attack and 0 defense. It's not alien by effect, but it's alien by name. It cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects while there is a face-up card in your opponent's field zone. If there's a face-up card in your opponent's field zone, you can target one monster they control, destroy, and if you do, this card gains 1000 attack. If there is a face-up card in your opponent's field zone, and this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon it. So going against things like Tear Element, Kashtira, and Scared Claw is a very good counter option, but it's also really good with cards like Set Rotation because it sets up way too much for this card alone, which I really do like. After that, we have Laminate of the Immortal Bushi. It's a continuous spell card. All monsters in your graveyard become warrior monsters. Once per turn, during the end phase, you can destroy all monsters you control. It's alright. It's interesting, to say the least. Then we have Seishao Rutin. I don't know. Let me pull up another name for it real quick. It is called Star Dragon's Return. It's a normal trap card, and you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. Target one fusion, synchro, exceed, or link monster on the field. Return that face-up monster to the extra deck. Then you could special summon one appropriate monster from the graveyard to your field based on the type of monster return. So if it's a fusion, a monster with the same attribute as return monster. Synchro is a monster with a lower level than the return monster. Exceed is a monster with this equal level to the returned rank. Or link is the same type. So it's very interesting. It's a gimmick card. Things like Labyrinth could use it as a tech option if they need to out something. But overall, it's a nice card, and it is also World Legacy lore. So I hope the next card we get is a bigger M-Duke. We'll have to see on that. Now let's get into the other cards. We have Stellar Nemesis Taipon Doomsday Star. Now, this card is a rival to Zeus in Greek lore, and it was one to defeat Zeus. And let's take a look at what he does. This card is absolutely amazing. It is a rank 12 Dark Fiend Exceed effect with 2900 attack and 2900 defense with 2 level 12 monsters. You can also exceed summon this card by using one monster you control with the highest attack during the turn or the next turn after your opponent special summon 2 or more monsters from the extra deck. Transfer its materials to this card, and if this card is summoned this way, you cannot normal or special summon monsters for the rest of the turn. Neither player can activate the effects of monsters with 3000 attack or more while you control this exceed summon card. And once per turn, you can detach one material from this card, return one monster on the field to the hand. So this generally shuts off things like Barone, Despeter, and many other cards with 3000 or more attack. So there is that for you. And honestly, it's a really good card, and I cannot wait to see what other Olympians we get. for this whole entire lore, as I see a total of 12 of them, or 13 maybe, 13 rank 12s from this whole series of cards, or maybe a whole deck like what they did with Gizmek. Next up, we have Rescue Hedgehog. Rescue Hedgehog is a brand new rescue monster that's going to be coming out for the V-Jump promos, and I cannot wait for this card to actually come out and see what it does, because it's a brand new rescue ace monster, and it has an effects to support various kinds of summonings. I hope it's Synchro, Exceed, and Link summoning, because that's instantly 3 different types of summonings, but I would take it if it is for things like Fusion, or maybe something that helps out Pendulum, like we have with Exceed the Pendulum. This card is very good in my opinion, and it is a Link 3 light spellcaster effect with 2000 attack that points all on the bottom left, center, and right, and it takes 2+ monsters, including a Pendulum monster. You can only use the first and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is Link Summon, you can add 1 face-up Pendulum monster from your extract to your hand. So it's Pseudo Electromite. It gains 1000 attack or 100 attack for each Pendulum card you control, so you can get up to 700 extra attack, which is useful. And during the main phase, if you have 2 cards in your Pendulum zone, quick effect, you can special summon 1 Pendulum monster from your hand or graveyard in defense with a level between exclusive the pendulum scales of the pendulums in your pendulum zone. So if you have a scale 0 and the 13, you can summon anything from a 1 to a 12 from your graveyard or hand, which is very good. But I hope you guys did enjoy Age of Overlord as I have, and honestly, I cannot wait to see what comes for the TCG side for imports and the exclusives. But anyways, I've been Bolt Spider. See you guys in the next video, and goodbye.